Hey there, and welcome to the Color Palette Crash Course. I'm Coral, and today I'm going to be teaching you 5 simple steps to choose a color palette for your whole home. So, this is the perfect starting point if you are moving into a new home for the first time, or if you are wanting to start redecorating your home. So here's what you're going to learn in this training. I'm going to teach you how to choose the colors for your color palette. So what steps to take in order to choose those colors. I'm going to teach you how you decorate using those colors. And by doing so, you're going to be able to create a home that flows from room to room and has a whole entire cohesive feel. So, step one is to start with what you already have. Chances are you already have some decor or furniture or pieces that are going to be either going into this new home with you, or that when you start redecorating, you know that you like and that you're going to keep. So, big things that you want to look at here are things like furniture, bedding, any bedding that you have that you know that you like and that you want to keep, curtains, accent pillows, or just any other type of decor that you look at it and you go, yes, I know I like this, and something about this really feels like the type of decor that I want to have in my home. So I'm going to show you some examples of what I have in my home. These are things that are my favorites that I started with for my color palette. So the first thing is our couches and our love seats. When we moved into our new home, these couches we had in our apartment with us. So I knew I didn't want to buy new couches and I already liked them. So I looked at that. Another thing is our kitchen table. Again, we had this in our apartment. And so I knew that this type of wood color was a color that I wanted to continue to use throughout our new home. Another thing that I liked was this gray bedding. I knew that I wanted to use a lot of gray in our home, and then I also used some plants. I liked the colors, the natural colors of green plants. So these are my pretty much core favorite things that I decided to start with my color palette. So you take these items and then you are going to pull colors that you like from them, meaning, so what I mean by that is in each of these things, there's a specific color that I really liked that I wanted to use. So this beige tan color is what I pulled from the sofa. I knew that I wanted to use this tan color throughout my home because one, I already have these couches in my living room, so I know that that's going to be a big piece that I want to continue using in my home. Same with the wood table. I knew that I wanted to use a similar color brown throughout my house. When I was going to be buying new furniture for the house, I knew that I wanted to stick to this similar brown color. I didn't want to have a bunch of different browns in my home, and I felt like that wouldn't create a cohesive feel throughout the house. So I pulled this brown color out and knew that I wanted to use that throughout the house. From the bedding, I pulled this gray color. I just knew going into decorating this house that gray is the color that I really wanted to use. So gray was something that was very important as I started decorating the whole house. And then this kind of darker green color, I really liked that natural look from plants and knew I wanted to incorporate that into the home. So these are the 4 colors that I started with as I was decorating the house. All right, so step number 2 is to consider your fixed items. So these are things in your house that you cannot change unless you decide to replace them or you decide to paint them. So things like cabinets, counters, and flooring, if you know that they're going to stay, you have to consider them because these are things, like it or not, that are going to contribute to the color palette in your home. And you just have to take those things into consideration. Doesn't mean that you have to use all of them, you just need to know what they are. So here's an example of kind of like our kitchen area in our home. So we have these dark colored cabinets. They do look black, but they're supposed to be espresso. That's just the color that they are. We have a kind of a light gray granite throughout our whole house. All of our counters in the house have this light gray granite. We have this light gray tile, and we have this throughout the kitchen and the bathrooms in our house. And then we have these brown wood look tile throughout our home. Okay, so same thing again here. You are going to pull the colors from these. So again, here I have a black, I have a gray color. This is actually like a slightly different gray um, than the bedding. It's just a little bit more silver, and then a brown again. Now, the important thing, like I said, is you don't have to use all of these colors in your color palette. You just need to be aware of them. Luckily for me, and a lot because we built this house, I got to design everything that I wanted. And so most of these colors fit in with my color palette. I will say that this black color really doesn't. I do use it. If you'll see here, I have some stools in the kitchen that kind of have this black color in them. But this black actually is really not part of my color palette. It's just something that I keep in consideration when I am decorating. All right, step 3 is I want you to ask yourself, what else? Okay, we have the things that you already have in your home or things that you know that you're going to bring to your home. But what else do you like? What do you want to put in your home? Okay, so we're considering what you already have, but now you're starting decorating a new home or redecorating. You can put whatever else that you want in it. So I want you to think about what else you like. What are your favorite colors that you love to decorate with? You can look online for inspiration. Is there any other furniture and decor that you like or that you've seen online or that you've seen in the store that you want to incorporate? And then neutrals are always a safe pick to go with. So I'm going to show you some examples of what I did here in step 3. So like I said, online inspiration is great. Pinterest is an amazing place to find inspiration for what you already like. If you're starting from scratch, then you can grab inspiration online and use that to help you decorate your home. It's pretty easy to find out what you like if you just start creating a Pinterest board or collecting pictures on Instagram, anything like that. And I just went through Pinterest and started pinning pictures of decor that I liked. And if you notice by looking at all these pictures, they really all have the same color palette. If you haven't noticed already, I really like neutrals. That is just something that personally I like. Doesn't mean that you need to decorate with a lot of neutrals. It's just my personal preference. So looking at this, I noticed that there are very similar colors that I, one, have already chosen from my color palette. I have the green color here. There's lots of gray. I see a little bit of brown that is kind of a little bit similar to the brown that I have already chose. I also see some white. I don't have white in the color palette that I've shown you yet, but I do love decorating with white. So just by looking at this, I know that there are some more colors that I need to add. I definitely need to add white to my color palette. I might want to consider kind of like this like teal color here. The paint chips colors that you see on Pinterest, these are great for finding other colors that you like. I love all of these gray and beige and grayish colors here. So that's another great way to find some more inspiration other than what you already have in your home. Okay, something else is other furniture. This piece of furniture was one that I saw in the store after we had moved into our home and I was decorating. I saw it in the store and I was like, oh yes, I want that. So I had taken a picture of it, and that went into my color palette. And then a couple of months down the line, I ended up purchasing this for our living room. So you can do this with other furniture that you already have in your home, and you can also do it with furniture that you see online or in the store. Snap a picture of it and know that that's going to be something that you're going to incorporate incorporate into your color palette and possibly incorporate into your decor down the line when you're decorating. Other bedding, I know I mentioned bedding in the beginning, if you have any other bedding. So I wanted to mention this bedding in particular because this was the bedding in our master bedroom from our apartment. It just so happened to be what we had at the time and what we moved into this house with. Now, I knew that I didn't want to keep this as our bedding in our master bedroom, so it wasn't part of my favorites at the beginning in step one, but I did add it here in my what else category because I knew that I had it and that I did want to incorporate this tealy green color a little bit in the home as well. And it also did end up influencing some other decor in the home, like some towels and rugs and some things in the bathroom. So I incorporated this into my color palette as well. And then, like I said, neutrals. If you don't know what to pick, neutrals are always safe. Neutrals usually go really well together. So you can always add lots of different neutrals into your color palette. Like I said, I love neutrals and I decorate a ton with neutrals. I have more neutrals in my home than I do other colors, and that's okay too. But if you like more color, you can always go for some more colors, but just know that if you are needing some more colors to add to your home, neutrals are a great way to go. Okay, so for your what else, we're still in step three. What else? Thinking of other colors to add to your palette. These are some other resources if you are having a hard time coming up with some other colors that you would like. So both of these resources, a color palette generator and the color palette ideas, these are both from Canva. Canva is a free service where you can create different documents and photos and pictures, but they also offer some great resources for generating some colors for you. So we're going to look at the color palette generator first. So what this is you can upload an image here and they will give you colors that go really well with the colors in the picture. So I'm going to pull up a picture that I have of my living room. Let's see which one. I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to drop it in here. So this is a picture of my current living room, and Canva is telling me, look, these colors go really well with the color palette that you already have. So if you notice this kind of like pale goldenrod color, that one really looks very similar to the beige color that I pulled out of the couch. This steel blue color looks very similar to the bedding color that I just showed you. This brown is pretty similar. Black, that goes with the cabinets. And this light steel blue is kind of like a gray color. So you can pull pictures from your home of what you currently have, or you could find pictures online and drag and drop them into this generator, and it will give you some other ideas that you can use to add to your color palette. The other one is the color palette ideas. So same thing, this is from Canva, and it has color palettes that look really good together, pretty much. So I can click on one. Let's find one that this one. Oh, of course, I always I always end up clicking on this one. So it gives you several colors that go really well together. You can also, if you want to search by a color. So I love gray. I'm just going to search gray, and it's going to give me a bunch of different gray color palettes. If I click on this one, now this is another one that I always lean towards and use. Again, lots of different colors that I can get color ideas from. So I will link the link to both of these different tools down below the video. So if you want to use those, you can to come up with some different color ideas. All right, so step 4, we have our colors from things that we already have in the house or that we already own. the colors of the fixed items that are going to be in your house, and then our what else? What else do you like? Step 4 is you're going to put all of these colors together. So what I did here, so you can group all of your pictures together. So I just took pictures of all of the different things that I liked and the colors that I wanted to use. You can create them in something like Canva, like this, like I did. Here I created this in Canva. You can save all of the pictures to your phone so that you have them. The reason I want you to put them all together is because when you are buying things, buying items online or shopping in the store, if you have this image, you can look at it and think, okay, does this go with the color palette that I chose? Now, I'm not saying that if it doesn't, you can't buy it. That's fine. If you want to buy it, buy it. But if you kind of follow this as a guideline, it will help you stick to your color palette or colors that are similar to your color palette so that when you go and you buy things and start decorating, everything kind of flows together and has the same look and feel. Yeah, so you can do it with pictures like this, or another thing that you could do is you could grab the colors and kind of put them together in something like this in Canva or Word or Photoshop or anything that you would like to put it together in, you can. So what I did is I used that color palette generator and I dropped the pictures in and it gave me similar colors, or in Canva, you can also choose your own colors. So I kind of used both of those tools to create this little color palette that has all of the different colors that I liked, that I pulled from my items and that were in my what else category. So pretty much like these were similar colors that came from like the couch. I think these are my two gray colors that came from the floor and the bedding. I have, this one was just another similar color that I kind of came across that I really liked. I have my brown from the table, which is also very similar from the brown from the flooring. I have the green from my plants, the teal from the bedding, and then I also have white. That was just another neutral that I decided to add because it goes really well with a lot of different colors. All right, now step 5 is the rule of 3. So this is how you take that color palette and you incorporate it into a room in your home. Okay, so the rule of 3 is that you decorate with 3 main colors in any room that you are decorating. So 60% of your room is going to be whatever the dominant color that you choose. 30% is your secondary color, and 10% is your accent color. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how I use this in my home. So first I have my living room. So I took pictures of the things that I currently have in my living room. And this is how I am using the rule of 3. So in my living room, my main dominant color, my 60%, is this beige color. I have it on the couch and the love seat. I have it with the TV stand. It's a lot on the pillows. And then kind of the walls and the different decor over here on the mantle is also this beige color. So that's the majority of this room is beige. Okay, then my secondary color is this gray color. So the gray I have on the rug and I have on the curtains, and then there's a little bit on some of the different pillows that I have. And then my last accent color is the green. So I have it with some of the decor that I have on the coffee table. Again, there's still some more beige and gray here. I have it on the pillows. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, here we go. There's a little bit of green on the pillows here, and then I have some other greenery around the room. Now, if you notice, I still have brown in here, and there's still some other colors kind of mixed in, okay? It's not a hard and fast rule, but generally, you want to break it down into 3 main colors. So those are my 3 main colors for my living room. Okay, another example that I have of this is our master bathroom. Now, in our master bathroom, it's a little bit different because the majority of our color is actually coming from our fixed items. So, my dominant color in the bathroom is this gray color because it is coming from the tile and our counters. So, most of the bathroom is covered in this color. So, that's my dominant color in here. My next dominant color is white. Again, some of that is coming from the fixed items like my tub. There's obviously a lot of white here, but I also decided to add some white shelves, and then I have white towels and white mats on the floor, bringing in my secondary color. And then my accent color here is the green, where I just have a couple of a real plant and some faux plants in there with the pop of an accent color. And the last example here that I have for you is my dining room. Now, if you notice, my dining room is pretty neutral. I don't really have a pop of an accent color in here. It's mostly the neutral colors. So here I have my dominant color is really brown because I have the brown flooring in here. I have the brown table. Now notice this brown is a little bit different. It's a little bit darker than the other brown that I have my other table. So doesn't mean that just because it's not the same exact color that I can't use it or decorate with it. I loved this table, and this is something that I bought after we had moved into the house. And I just went with just a little bit darker color, but it still fits in that brown family. Continuing with that, on the wall here, I have some decor that has this dark brown color in it. Then my secondary color is the beige color. It's a slightly different beige than the beige in the living room, but this is a beige that I have in my color palette. So I have the candles, I have the coverings of the chair and the table runner, and there's a little bit of kind of beige in this bowl here. And then the last color, my accent color, is the white, which I have in the flowers, a little bit of stuff of decor on the bowl or in the bowl, and then on this sign here. So this one is a lot more neutral than the green there in this one. But those are just some examples of how you incorporate the rule of three whenever you're decorating. If you noticed, in all of these different rooms, I wasn't adding in all of these different colors. I really tried to stick to the three main colors that I chose for the room. All right, so those are your 5 steps for creating a whole home color palette. Number 1, start with the items that you already have. 2, consider your different fixed items, things that are not going to be changing in your home. Step 3, ask yourself what else? What else do you want to add? What else is your favorite? Find inspiration. Step 4, put it all together. Create a color palette either with pictures on your phone, or you can do something like I did to create a actual little color palette that you have with you. Look at that when you're shopping and when you are decorating each room. And step 5 is use the rule of 3 and stick to 3 main colors that you use to decorate each room. Following these 5 steps will put you on the right path for decorating and creating a home you love.